Well, we're diving right back into the news today, so let's get to it. Bokeem Woodbine has joined the cast of Spider-Man Homecoming, apparently as a villain. With Michael Keaton and Logan Marshall Green presumably already cast as the film's villains, this comes as a bit of a surprise. He may only be playing a crime boss or something. It might be cool to see him play Lonnie Lincoln, aka Tombstone, the deadly man with the Jack Palance rasp. I don't think too many villains need be a concern, since Iron Man will be involved at some point, and we need to give him something to do. Well, we haven't covered a ton of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 news here, but we have the synopsis that reads as follows. Set to the backdrop of Awesome Mixtape Number 2, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 continues the team's adventures as they traverse the outer reaches of the cosmos. The Guardians must fight to keep their newfound family together as they unravel the mysteries of Peter Quill's true parentage. Old foes become new allies, and fan-favorite characters from the classic comics will come to our heroes' aid as the Marvel Cinematic Universe continues to expand. The most curious thing is old foes become new allies. The obvious thing that comes to mind is Nebula. She was the only character fairly underused in the first film. But while she appeared to have no love lost for Thanos, he's apparently not going to be in this film. So it'll be interesting to see who the villain is that will bring these old foes over to the good side. Also, it's been reported that Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone have roles in the film, with one supposedly playing Star-Lord's dad and the other playing the villain. Peyton Reed gave some info about the upcoming Ant-Man and the Wasp in an interview saying, "It's something we're excited about. For me as a comic nerd, I always thought of Ant-Man and the Wasp as a team. And that's a lot of what the second movie is really about, is how they work together, what their personal and professional relationships are like. To show her finally fully formed in this movie is really exciting. We really get to introduce this character into that universe. I mean, we've introduced the character, but we haven't seen her with her full power set and everything. So to me, she's not a supporting character in this movie. It's every bit as much her movie as it is Scott Lang's." Sounds good. This film will be taking place after the next Avengers movie, so it's a good bet that Scott won't be on the run at that point. No word yet on the villain as the script is still being written. Personally, I'm still holding out hope for a Return of Ultron, but I'm sure that's a long shot. I forgot to mention in my Rogue One segment during the last news roundup the most important news of all. Along with the confirmation of Vader appearing in Rogue One, we of course have confirmation that the man himself, James Earl Jones, is returning to voice Vader once again. This is also no real surprise, as Jones has already added his vocal talents to Rebels. I also checked out the new U-Wing fighter design on the advice of Red Leader Antilles, and yeah, it looks really cool. I only wish they had saved some of these designs for the Resistance over in the Saga films instead of using them over here. I'd like to see some Y-Wings brought back for Rogue One. I want to send a shout out to Red and the Imperial HoloNet News over on his channel, hosted by the mighty JID123 and starring the fabulous Nero Cole. If you want Star Wars news covering all aspects of the franchise, you should definitely check them out. Maisie Richardson Sellers, who had a minor role in The Force Awakens, has been cast as the new Vixen for Season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, where she'll play the ancestor of Megalyn EK's version of Vixen, who was seen on last season of Arrow and voices the animated version. This doesn't bar the door on EK returning at some point, since scheduling conflicts have prevented her from returning to the CW-verse this season. Stephen Amell has been hyping Season 5 of Arrow as of late. He said his Arrow costume will be undergoing a few tweaks for the new season. Amell described a meaner Arrow this season. He hastened to add not evil, just mean. It's anyone's guess what that entails, but they promised us a lighter, fun version of Arrow for Season 4 and, well, look at what we got. The most tantalizing tidbit is probably Amell's mysterious claim that a character not seen for 2 full seasons will return. Who could this mysterious character be? Given the clues seen thus far that this season seems to be trying to imitate Netflix Daredevil, with vigilantes and a mob kingpin, my guess is that it's going to be Huntress. She'll fill the Elektra role as a past romance of Ollie's that also just happens to be a killing machine. I welcome seeing Huntress again, but the way they seem to be blatantly copying from the Daredevil playbook just feels wrong. It doesn't help that I'm not entirely crazy about Netflix Daredevil to begin with, so getting Arrow with this template isn't really all that appealing to me. But maybe I'm reading too much into this. Maybe Arrow fans switching their allegiance to Daredevil had no impact on the showrunner's decisions for this season. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Amell also added that we'll see a brutal action scene filmed in one continuous shot. You know, like they do over on Daredevil. Yeah. Well, that about does it for our 15th edition of Torch News Roundup. Again, check out the link in the description to check out my comic book, The Adventures of Bullets Bourbon, Private Eye. I have a 4-page preview up there right now for issues 2 and 3. I'd like to do a few more, but I kinda need a few sales to do that. So think of this as my own personal PBS pledge drive. Until next time, this is Johnnie Torch reminding you, keep the flame burning brightly, and I'll be with you again real soon.